hello to our viewers and our guest, Ms. Dikksha. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
My first question to you is, could you please give a short and brief introduction of yours to our viewers?
Sure. So my name is Dikssha V Annand, and I am a life coach. And I've been into this profession since 5 years. I wanted to do something for my nation always as a kid. So this is something that clicked to me. In my journey, I think I've done a lot of career shopping. I went ahead as a fashion communication graduate and then become a visual merchandiser, and from there become a graphic designer. From there, left everything and started exploring what else is to life, because somehow I felt that even in this make believe world, we are not making sense to what we are from inside. And I was having everything in life, but I was feeling this deep void inside me that after having the best of best opportunities in my life, what else is missing? Why I'm not able to say that I'm happy? Why it doesn't feel really light inside, inside me?
Yeah.
And then I went ahead and then I explored totally opposite of side of the spectrum, which is I went to a meditation center and started to do an emotional reset. A lot of things, a lot of catharsis, a lot of meditations. And that is how I felt, like after some time, I felt that I'm really feeling light. And and in order to feel light versus feeling light on a temporary basis and not able to sustain it. So I figured out that there is a gap in that, and how can I bridge that gap? So, what are some of the advanced tools that maybe the Western world is researching on or using that is not yet come to India? What is that we don't know of? So I went ahead and I enrolled myself in neuro-linguistic programming. So neuro-linguistic programming is a way that you study the human behavior, human language, and how humans make sense to their world inside their head and their reality, and came up with amazing tools that can change life and have a permanent impact that is much more powerful than just temporary effect. Have a permanent change within you that can sustain, and combine those tools with life coaching. And I know it's not a short bio, but just in a flow, I explain my journey to you.
But it was very captivating and immaculating. Bio.
Thank you so much.
So, how do you help your clients to achieve and set their goals?
So I work with this frame of mind that they already have solutions within them.
Okay.
We we all have. We know what's wrong. We know that we need to make it right. The only thing is we don't know how. And my service comes where you are looking for your how. And if you're not able to find your how consciously, there is a very deep um, how within you.
Hmm.
And I just help it surface.
Could
Yeah,
you please explain in detail with the help of an example?
sure. So, a lot of work that I do involves unconscious rearrangement of your own beliefs within your own life, beliefs that are holding you, that are limiting you, that are that are your blind spots, but you are not able to see it yourself. You feel like you deserve this life, but will I be able to live it? Will I
Hmm.
be able to make sense? Will I be able to succeed? All your will hows are taken care of in life coaching. And they say in NLP that NLP and life coaching takes all your excuses. And when you don't have your excuses, all you can do is take necessary actions and go ahead in your life. So in the session itself, client goes through lot of deep insights about their own life and how they choose their limitation in the first place, and how they have the resources within their own self in order to overcome that challenge, and how they can sustain it in all the areas of their life. Because if I make a change in one area, let's say another area of that person's life says, no, I don't want this change, then no matter what I do, the change will go reverse.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of people who smoke.
Yeah.
Let's say I made them see everything and come to this realization that they want to quit smoking, and they quit for 10 days. But
Mm.
why they started smoking in the first place was also the kind of attention that they get from their peer group, the
Yeah.
kind of ex, acceptability that they get from their peer group. And let's say I work on the health aspect, but I don't work on the social aspect, the social need, that underlying gain that he's also getting. The changes will go back, and the system will fall again in the same place. So in life coaching and neuro-linguistic programming, we take care the entire approach, the systematic approach of how a person lives and what are different aspects in their life that needs to go with the same alignment towards their dreams, towards their health, towards their goals. Everything should align together in order for a change to sustain.
So, say for example, if someone who has great potential and the person is aware about it, but
Yeah.
still having the negative mindset at the same time, but the negative mindset that has been developed is because of the surroundings that the individual is having. So, so just to be short, if you could give advice to that person to break the negative beliefs and the mindset right away and focus on growing in a corporate sector, to be very precise, how, what is your approach or what is your advice to the person?
See, first of all, awareness. If she could have, she would have,
Um,
right?
yeah.
If she knows how to go ahead, she would have already demonstrated by her actions. There's something that is not fitting right. And from where she learned the behavior in the first place, from where she learned to hold herself in the first place. If you go back in her timeline and show her that particular moment, make her aware of that particular moment, make that little younger self of you resourceful in that particular moment, that particular liberation will free her from all the things that she's holding on to, and she will automatically take that action.
Hmm. That's a brief answer to that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Because we always work on patterns. In order for you to break one pattern and go full throttle, you have to equip her through all the timeline. Take her back to the first time she held herself back and equip her then. And when you equip her then in her past, the neurology will need the neurology will rearrange itself, reorganize itself in a way that automatically all the events in her timeline will shift itself and become a stepping stone for that person to go forward with full actions.
perfect. That somehow answer my questions. I mean, very accurately, on point.
Yeah.
Moving ahead, what is your inspiration and how do you feel driven towards your goal?
See, my inspiration is that the tools and the knowledge that I have, I've learned it spending lakhs of rupees. Okay, and I can charge lakhs of rupees for it. But that's not the point. Because if we keep helping the cream of India, what about the rest of the people? What about the middle class people or the middle class families? Don't they deserve proper tools, proper guidance, proper, let's say, the most effective ways in order to make their life better? So my agenda was always to learn good knowledge from the best of the mentors around the world and trickle it down to people and make their life better because when you help somebody in return you help yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my passion, to take it to every household in India, around the world, where people have um, similar desire to get knowledge, to get this experience, to get these procedures, to get that support from best of professionals around the world and to make it available to them on a reasonable price.
Yes. Understood. So,
Yeah,
while going through your profile, I came across that you're a tarot reader also.
yeah.
So, how do you learn to read tarot cards? And when did you discover that you had this particular liking to discover it?
So I'm a very intuitive person, Juhika, and from my childhood only, I used to sense a lot of things in a person. And I don't want to creep out people in a way that I am kind of getting a very strong intuition about, let's say, their throat. And I can feel somehow that something in their life um, could get in trouble because of the throat chakra or the throat needs attention, specifically in the body. And when I started telling my family members, people around, my friends, the intuitions and all those things were spot on. And I could see people coming back to me asking for more such insights or guidance. And then I was always searching for a tool, a specific medium to not only be there for people around me, but to be open to larger audience. And that is how I was waiting for getting initiated into something like this, because I know that in alternate healing, you cannot just go to Udemy and get a course done and say that you're a tarot reader. A proper initiation is required. And in the ancient, um, like in India, in our ancient wisdom, the knowledge was always passed through initiation,
Yeah.
initiating a disciple, initiating somebody into a field, and then allowing that person to take it forward to experience, to help others. So I was just waiting for that one guru. And when it came, I think it was through tarot. Yeah, that is how tarot came in my life.
I have a question here.
Okay.
The question is, what is your intuition about me, or what does your intuitive voice says about me about Joika as a person?
I think a lot of emotions, Juhika. A lot of emotions in your bellies are ready to come out.
I mean, is it just to be digging into a little deeper? Is it
Yeah,
the emotions that you intuited? Is it on the positive side? Is it the negative? I mean, negative. When I say negative, it's anger, anxious, like that, or is it mixed?
I think it's more on the side of unresourceful emotions.
You are on point. You are on point. Okay. Okay, we'll
Yeah,
discuss.
yeah. So
I,
that is how everything in my life is connected with this mystic dimension. And yeah, in tarot also, I don't give any upays. With God's blessing, I think I'm a very intuitive person, and the right kind of remedy just flows out of me. Sometimes I even don't know how come this thing came to me, and then what will this particular remedy will do to that person. But then it does magic, and I think I have to just keep it there because in tarot, I think I'm just a channel. I'm
yeah,
just a medium. And when you connect to your masters, like I said, that I'm initiated into it, and it makes a lot of difference. It's
yeah.
the difference that separates people who've done it through a course and not, you know, they are not initiated by a guru or a master in that particular field. Yeah,
I need to have a conversation with you. We'll have it
sure.
later once we are done with the question.
Anytime, anytime.
Could you please tell us an incident in your life that taught you something that you still hold on to and it is very valuable today?
I think there was a point in my time where I was making a lot of sense to people, and I started posting about the same that, I am this and I'm that. You get that high in your life, no? When you think that, oh my God, I have like this magical power, and you start your everyday sentence with I am
Yeah.
this, I'm that, I'm I'm doing this, I'm achieving that. And that is the time in my life where I felt that my readings was not making a sense. The more energy I'm putting in my therapy, the more I was draining out, and it was not producing the kind of results it was producing without me putting this I in between. And suddenly, when I was sitting in silence one day, it hit to me that, it's God's work, and I am not doing that work. Um, he's just asking me, like he pointed me to do that work. So I can't take the entire credit saying I every time. So I think in that moment, something inside me really shifted. It just shifted my focus from I to the service again. And that is how I've always kept it after that, that it's not about me, it's about the person itself. Yeah. It's about the impact, it's about service always towards your client or towards India, your, your country. Yeah.
So, this is out of the context question, but if someone wants to activate, I mean, their intuitive voice, because I believe everyone has the intuition inside themselves, and only a few uh, gets the intuitive voice, like you. So how one can act? Is there a process to activate the intuitive power within self, or or it comes naturally?
I would say it comes naturally, but if you don't listen to it, it just stop doing the job for you. The whispers doesn't make sense because you're always into the logic side of life. So let's say that we are made, um, we have a sun a body and a moon body, and that is how a yin and yang is balanced, 50% sun and 50% moon. Let's say you are always activating your sun body. You always want results. You are process driven. You have logics. You have always analysis going on in the back of your head. You have a lot of calculations um, going at the back of your head. So if you're always into your sun element, your moon element just starts to deteriorate, because moon is about going with the flow. Moon
Yeah.
is not about process. Moon is about just being.
Yeah.
So so I was just so I when I went to this meditation center, I was just sitting one day and I happened to meet a shaman.
Okay.
And I didn't know he was a shaman, but he just came and sat on my side, and I was just into my own world. Like I was looking out, but I was in a deep inner introspection about things. And he said to me, "Don't you think your intuition body will get upset? And you are upsetting it quite a lot." And I'm like, "What?" Like, start listening to your intuition, and the you'll see a miracle in your life. And it was just at that point where, when he pointed out this, I I went back in my mind and picked out all the evidence of me not listening to my intuition and how things fall apart. How I was always calculating, always judging, always, in my head and not in my whole being. And then he told me that, you know what? Let me share a secret with you. And I was like, all yours. Okay, now he's gonna say something that's miraculous and something so deep. And he said that the secret is the biggest secret is, and the biggest secret of the world is that there is no secret at all. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And yeah, the conversation ended. But this one line, it just comes to me every morning. And I search different methods to enhance my intuition as well. And one of those is to go out and be in the light of moon, to walk after 7, 8, 8:30, and be in the rays, in the moonbeams, and just take it in. Just let your body take those in, and you will see that in a while you'll start to have that. intuition in you.
But what if the person has opposite, as in the moon aspect is high, whereas the sun aspect is little low. So what is the process in that scenario?
Vice versa, Juhika. You wake up early where the sun is about to cross a 30-degree angle. Let's say the sun rises around 5:45 and somewhere around um, 6 or 6:30 you wake up and you take the sun rays
Um,
and you bow down to sun rays, those sun rays and sun element that I'm very grateful for your presence in my life. Yeah.
got it. Your voice is very calming. So I always go into the zone and listen to that. So, okay, please speak on, please continue.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I think I used to speak really slow during my college days, and people used to freak out that why you speak so slow? I feel like I'll doze down to sleep. And that time I felt that, oh, it's a problem. But over the time in my work, I think I've developed this deep voice in order to induce trance as well. So it helps me taking people into deep trance inductions.
Actually, it actually, I mean, the voice is actually a self-realization voice. So
Yeah,
I mean, if you're speaking to me in that calming voice, all yours, please continue.
thank you so much.
So, moving ahead, what is the most important thing or advice that you would want to give to the audience?
See, don't get comfortable in your comfortable miseries. Okay, people these days are so comfortable saying that they have panic attacks, that they are
Yeah,
stressed, that
yeah,
their relationship is not good, or that they are cheating their partners. They don't know the compound effect of these small things that will have on their, you know, coming 2 3 years in their life. And there is a way to reverse it. There is a way to naturally change it without any medications. So seek out support of a people, of professional that you connect with, that you intuitively feel a connection with, and you feel that there is this trust factor that you can feel with them. And go ahead and then just put those things aside so that in your life, there is always an alignment between your heart and your brain. There is there is no mind body split. And when you're operating from a place of split, everything in your life seems like a PPT slide.
yeah,
This is one part, this is another part, this is third part, this is fourth part. And in life, there is no PPT slide. There is
yeah,
always a movie. And
yeah.
if you're not in a space of a movie where your character is playing um, on a optimal level, that means that there is certain things that that you should take a responsibility to change in your life.
So, say for example, like, let me frame this question and I'll come back to you. Because
Okay,
it'll take some more time to frame the question. Uh,
sure.
so, can you describe a case where you successfully used the neuro-linguistic techniques to help a client? overcome a specific language related challenge or a communication barrier?
So I remember there was this client that came to me and she was having a hard time going through this particular breakup in her life. And she was a friend of friend and we met somewhere and she was just telling about that I think I will never get love. I think I don't deserve a stable relationship. And I listened to her two, three times. And then I was leaving the party, the space. I called her and I told her that, hey, everything that happened in your life, on all the sentence that you use in your life, can you put a yet after it? That I have not find a ideal partner for me yet. So that your neurology knows that you are still looking forward to it. And in order to look forward to it, there are things that maybe you'll experiment, maybe you'll figure out, you'll change. But when you say, I don't get a partner, a ideal partner, and a full stop after that, you communicate to your neurology that either you don't deserve it or you don't know how to do it, and you're not even willing to change.
So, does that mean that words play a major role, words backed up with actions plays a major role
Definitely,
in creating the reality that I, as a person, desire?
definitely, definitely. You pick words from your unconscious mind.
Mm. So,
Yeah.
say for
And
example,
and
yeah,
and those words and those words speak a lot about your inner reality, and you cannot fake them in when you're meeting a seasoned person. They three words you speak in front of that person will be able to track your history.
so
How is
say
your relationship? How is your health? How's your business? Everything. Yeah,
so if how to change that if say for example I as a person has a conscious mind which has majorly negative words as compared to the positive which I desire to be my reality. So is there a way possible that I can convert the negative words into a neutral or a positive word so that uh, my reality could be the way I desire in future, or say, for example, the very next moment.
see, when I told that girl about putting a yet, she practiced it for some time, but then she was not feeling that same emotion and that feeling that she should feel when she's saying, "Oh, I don't have an ideal partner in my life yet." She
Yeah.
was feeling, "I don't have an ideal partner in my life yet," because she unconsciously have a evidence of what all went wrong in the first place with her relationship aspect in general. So when she came and she did that trauma work in therapy and she got rid of all those things and she came into a very neutral energy, that is when she could say to herself and start from that point that okay, I'm waiting for a ideal partner and I think I'm open for an ideal partner and I don't have an ideal partner in my life yet. So the expression, the tone, everything changed. So both matters. Saying using positive words also matter and also working on what what was the pain what is the pain in the first place
Yeah.
also matters. Yeah.
Ha- So, how do you handle resistance or challenges that may arise during your therapeutic process? And what techniques do you use to facilitate change and overcome obstacles?
So handling resistance comes when you believe something about yourself or other person and you're not willing to change that belief. But why you why you are afraid in order to change the belief if that why is open in front of you, and how dropping that why will make a difference in your life when you can see both the contrast. Your neurology is not stupid.
Yeah,
You don't want to go back to the same old behaviors when it's taking you nowhere. And when you have that awareness and you know what that awareness means to you and where you want to go in your life, if you're clear on these three things in your life, then your neurology will automatically go for plan B, and your
yeah,
resistance will not be able to hold you back any longer.
yeah,
So resistance come when it's your blind spot. It's like you're using it as an excuse every time. And
yeah,
when you show that person both the contrast, then the resistance loses its power. You take the power back in your own hands. Yeah.
yes,
And
understood.
what was the second and third part of the question? Sorry.
Uh, the second part was that what techniques do you use to facilitate the change and overcome obstacles?
So techniques, there are a lot of techniques in neuro-linguistic programming, and there are a lot of techniques in therapeutic arrangement as well. So naming some is conversational programming, where unconsciously I help them arrive at why they want this change and why this change is important to them. Let's say there is no drive in order to in order for the change to last. That
Yeah,
means it's just a surface thing. There is a lot of things that's going under that
yeah,
thing. So going into the root cause, taking them through it, um, learning from um, what they have done in their life, what worked, what didn't work, and then um, what is their conscious awareness about the same thing now. And as an adult, when you go and do all this work, you let go of the behaviors and patterns that's not working for you.
understood. Too heavy, but understood. So, what are the three things that life has taught you and you aim to pass on to others?
Okay. There's a lot of things, but I'm literally going deep and finding those three things. One is um, I feel uh, holding a space for somebody, you know, being actually fully present as a support. When I was growing up, I didn't quite feel that support myself.
Yeah.
So I always felt that, you know, um, that I'm lonely, and then um, that I have to distract myself either with a phone or iPod or music, or indulge myself in that activity. And I was just running from this reality that I don't have that support, or I don't have that relation where I feel that, oh, I truly matter, or I feel a sense of belonging. So, but when I overcome that, when I went as a client myself to all the other life coaches, I discovered a lot of things about my own life and how I was manifesting that inner reality externally too. And since then, I've started um, being very truthful about the fact that I'm truly offering my entire self to my clients, to my service, to my work, where I hold the space for them, which is safe, which is non-judgmental, where they can share with, where they can just sit in silence, where they can change, where they can transform. So one is that. Second is um, I think non-judgment, where where you can just be you, and you can say anything and everything in that therapeutic setting. And I know when I see my client that they are in a transition, they're just letting that go, they are venting it out. And yeah, not judging them in that point. And the third thing is authenticity. I think it's very important to be authentic, and knowing the fact that we are human beings and it's okay to make mistakes. I am not God. I also learn with my clients sometimes, and there are things that they teach me. Yeah. So being authentic about what I can offer, where I come from, what I see is possible for them, what
Yeah.
is that we can explore together. Yeah.
And here comes to my last question. Sad, but it's okay.
It's
So,
okay.
if not a life coach, what do you think you would be right now? Deep state of thinking. Okay.
I would say something to do with painting. I think I love painting, and
Okay.
yeah,
And
painter.
sorry, I cut you. I cut in between. Sorry.
Should I repeat?
Yes, yes, please. Painting. I cut you in between. Sorry.
So I think I'll be a painter because I really go in a very altered state when I'm painting.
Yeah,
So painting. Yeah,
got it.
painter.
And, and I'm done with my questions. Thank
Hey,
you.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining on this interview with me.
Thank you so much, Juhika. You're such a beautiful soul, and thank you for making me go back in my life once again and figure out why I did what I did. So it was nice. It was a good feeling.